The question is, what is the current state of Noah's Ark? Well, I'm going to answer in several ways. First is the security. What security measures have been implemented around the site? Well, the site is not known. It's in the southern gorge of Greater Mount Ararat, but except for the Turkish government and Ahmet Ertugrul, the rediscoverer, not a lot of people know exactly where it is. Where are the features? Where are the contacts? However, the Turkish government does know. Now, the general area is constantly surveilled by a series of drones or UAVs that monitor and look for anyone that's near the site. And this is complemented also by the Gendarme Militarici, the patrols, roving patrols, from squad size to larger. And what they do is they complement each other, both the drones and the active patrols, to make sure that no one unauthorized is accessing the site. So right now the site is cut off from being entered in any way. And if there's any individuals that go near the site, the gendarme, the active patrols begin and apprehend anyone that's near the site. Now, who knows about the site? I've said the Turkish government, but who specifically? Well, number one, the office of the presidency of President Erdogan and his cabinet know exactly where the site is. Not only every single context, but also the areas. And what do I mean by that? Well, the Noah's Ark is divided into two areas, A and B. And then area A is divided into four sub-areas where different portions of the Ark are located. And then area B is also subdivided into sub-areas. And in these areas, or in most of the areas, are loci or context or features where specific installations are found with archaeological assemblages comprising, well, in the interior of the main structure, grinding stones, basalt and other lithic bowls, floral remains of flora, seeds, undomesticated seeds of barley and of wheat, legumes comprising chickpea, pea, and bitter vetch, which is what they call the Neolithic diet. The site is from the late Epipaleolithic, from 13,100 to 9,600 BC. And then you have the wood bone artifacts and these wood bowls that are covered with mud clay. So it's a very utilitarian assemblage, but monumental architecture. The site is 156 meters in length and has been very severely impacted by the glacial ice moving down. But the most pristine area is in area A1, where you have wonderfully preserved loci and archaeological features and assemblages that are in a series of rooms covered by larger rooms, and ultimately the hull of the vessel. So it's a really spectacular site with excellent preservation. Now, who else knows about this in the government of Turkey? Well, the board of the Ministry of Culture. They know everything about the site, and the reports that I've sent detail every artifact that I've come across, every archaeological feature, where it is, the lat long of each. And then what archaeologists do in today's environment is they put everything into an Esri ArcGIS format, what they call a shape file, which shows not only the parameters of the site, but also the individual, where is the individual loci. And this enables Turkish archaeologists to upload the shapefile onto their handheld devices and go directly to the individual features. It makes it just easier for archaeologists, and that's kind of the modern component. So everything is measured, everything is put in, but there's so much work to do. But everything is what we've discovered so far has been measured, specifically the parameter of the site, where all the current archaeological features are located. And so it's very, very exciting. So the other entities that know about it is the higher echelons of AK Party or AK Party, which is the ruling or the presiding party to which President Erdogan belongs. And so not only does AK Party know about this at the provincial level, especially in Agri province, but also in the central government, in the capital at Ankara, the capital of Turkey, or the Republic of Turkey. Now, it goes without saying as if the Ministry of Culture knows, the archaeological components or the historic preservation components of the Ministry of Culture know about this as well. Now, in the Ministry of Culture, it's roughly divided into the Ministry of Culture. The full name is the Ministry of Culture and Tourism. So there's the tourism component, and then there's the culture component. Within the culture, all archaeologists must submit what they call an archaeologic formu, a form showing where all the features are, and the artifacts that have been retrieved from the site, and where these artifacts were located. So that has been done. All my reports have been submitted, and they're now they were submitted to the departments of excavation and conservation starting in 2013, and then I've sent a consistent stream of other reports as more artifacts were taken from the site. Unfortunately, a lot of it was illegal, in my opinion. So the central government knows about it, but you're saying, well, Joel, you just said that these higher echelons knew about it in 2022, but if you sent your report in 2013, what was holding up the central government from knowing about the site? Well, I submitted to 2013 to Ankara. All archaeologists has to submit these forms to Ankara, specifically to the Department of Conservation and the Department of Excavations. And then these two departments take it up the chain of command to the Ministry of Culture, especially for what they call site potential number 1 archaeological sites. That is, if they're in the middle of a national park, or federal land, Turkish federal land, which is Greater Mount Ararat. It's kind of like Yosemite National Park. And also to get a number 1 potential site, or to be listed, is you're not around any urban areas or areas that could impact the development of Turkish roads, or a building complex or an airport. This is right near the summit, or it's in the southern gorge, and the best preserved sites are on a plateau on a southern plateau beneath the summit of Greater Mount Ararat. So this is a wonderful site. And then as soon as Turkish archaeologists conserve and excavate the site, then it becomes a subject for the Ministry of Culture, how this historic site, especially a site that's important to 3 world religions of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, impact Turkish tourism, and it will to a great degree. Well, one of the reasons it wasn't known at the highest levels of the government is that no reports were being sent to Ankara outside my own. So even though that Muhsin Bulut, who is the director of the Ministry of Culture in the Agri province, he was not sending reports, as far as I was told, to the central government. And also Oktay Belli, who was a major archaeologist, even though he knew that significant artifacts were being taken from the site, they weren't also reporting to the Turkish government in Ankara. Another reason is that there's been some conversations that Agri province was trying to keep this site for itself and not letting the central government know. But this was a problem because Noah's Ark is internationally important, specifically because the Islamic prophet Muhammad mentions it in the Quran. And so this site antedates any of the schisms in Islam, especially between Sunni and the Shia components of Islam. And also, it antedates any divisions in the Abrahamic faith. So this is coming before Abraham, and thus important to both Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. The other issue is that secularists were keeping the reports at the lowest level because they didn't want to raise it up because it's so problematic for secularism. So not only was the Agri Ministry of Culture not telling Ankara about it, but it was the individuals that were processing the reports from the Department of Excavation and the Department of Conservation that were not letting the higher elements in the Turkish government now. So that's what it is right now. It's the worst kept secret in the highest echelons of the Turkish government. A lot of people know about it. The AK Party, not only in the Agri provincial government, but also in Ankara, knows about it. And drones and roving patrols of the Gendarme Militarici are protecting Noah's Ark. So that's the current state of Noah's Ark. Thank you.